Welcome back to AM Northwest. Film productions in Oregon are starting to ramp up again. Here with an update and to help us add to our must-watch list, we welcome back Executive Director of Oregon Film, Tim Williams. Good to see you again, Tim.
Good to see you too, Helen.
Talk about the importance of having films produced and shot here.
So I like to say there's sort of three phases of economic impact from film production. There's the sort of initial phase where they come in and they hire people and they spend money on small businesses and they go to different towns.
Right.
And then there's sort of the next phase, which is the project comes out and people see that it's Portland or they see that it's Oregon, and you get an uptick in people's interest.
Right.
And then there's the sort of long tail annuity of film tourism. So people go to the Goonies house by the thousands in Astoria. They go down to Brownsville, by the thousands. So there's always these three phases where you're picking up notoriety, money, economic development, as well as spending in local communities.
Yeah. And that strike, the actor strike, took a bit of a hit.
It did, yeah.
Economy.
So last year, from basically May to November, everything sort of stopped.
Yeah.
And so we were just as badly hit as everywhere else. It was a nationwide thing. As internationally, everything shut down because the actors were not working.
We're not
so
able to work.
that hurt everything, and it did really
but
break
now
things hard.
we're on the upside, which we like.
Things are good.
Things are good. So let's talk about some of the things that we should be interested in. Shogun, and that's a mini-series, right?
Yeah, Shogun is on Hulu. It's a great mini-series based on the novel, obviously. And the VFX were done here. The visual effects were done here in Oregon. We have a very strong visual effects community that not a lot of people know.
Yeah.
Coming out of Grimm, a lot of the both on-set effects work.
Such great visual effects.
Yeah, so
Grimm.
the visual effects community here grew a lot with Grimm, well, as did our on-set. The prosthetics and stuff grew a lot with Grimm. So we have that growing community, did a lot of work on Shogun. I think there's going to be an Emmy campaign for some of the work on the VFX side for Shogun. It's a company here called Refuge VFX. It works out of Portland and Northeast Portland.
That's great. New Life and Lazarus movies. Yeah,
both were highlighted in the New York Times recently as sort of apocalyptic near future movies that people should see, and they both were shot here in Oregon. So Lazarus was shot down at the Trout Creek Wilderness down by Molalla, and New Life was shot here in Portland, but also out in Enterprise in Eastern Oregon as well.
So that gives those communities such a boost.
Absolutely, yeah. No, they both have wonderful locations in them, and I think from a sort of tourism point of view, you absolutely will want to go visit those places.
Yeah, and you mentioned that they were listed in the New York Times article, 5 science fiction movies to stream right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're out right now. They just came out in the last couple of weeks. You can see trailers on our site, but you can also see the movies online. Yeah,
fantastic. Sometimes I Think About Dying. Tell me about that.
So that's Daisy Ridley, a little movie that came out probably 2 or 3 months ago. It was shot up in Astoria. It's a quiet movie.
Astoria is such a good place to shoot
Astoria
movies,
is sort of our best kept secret.
Yeah.
We go back many decades with films shot in Astoria, with The Goonies and Kindergarten Cop, and Sometimes I Think About Dying is Daisy Ridley from the Star Wars franchise. She went up there. It's a small drama. It's really worth seeing. It's quite wonderful.
Okay, and then Little Wing.
Little Wing is a Paramount series that stars
Brian Cox.
Thank you, Brian Cox from Succession.
Yeah.
And as well as from Kelly Riley from Yellowstone. It's shot here in Portland. It's all about pigeon racing, actually. It's it's quite wonderul.
Wow, pigeon racing.
Yeah.
It's like, homing pigeons. That
Homing
makes
pigeons,
sense.
yes.
First of all, you know what I was doing? I was picturing pigeons walking across. Like, wait, that's not right. That's not right.
Unique.
Yeah,
we should look
try
into that. Yeah,
Try
exactly.
that. No, but that makes sense. Homing pigeons. I gotcha. That's interesting. What's shooting here now?
So we've already had 4 feature films that have shot here since the strike ended at the end of last year. We have 3 that are in production right now, and we have a TV series that's coming in the summer. So it's quite busy at the moment, and we're looking at more to come in on the other side of the sort of summer, so late summer, early fall. We already have 3 or 4 things that are lining up to come in then too. And these things are not only shooting in Portland, but all around the state. They're all looking at various locations in Florence and Eastern Oregon and Southern Oregon, and lots of great stuff that's going on. Small film shooting down in Southern Oregon at the moment that's just starting up. So it's great. People are using all of Oregon as a backdrop and pulling a lot of equipment and crews things out of Portland as well. And I think that's wonderful for the state overall as well as for the city.
I feel like way back when movie makers didn't come to Oregon because they were concerned about the weather, but now it's used in the film.
Well,
basically as a character.
Grimm is a great example
Perfect,
of that.
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Grimm actually stayed here over the winter because they wanted that feel
They wanted
to
the
it.
dark, yeah.
So with Grimm and
They'd get upset
Portlandia,
when it was a sunny, nice day.
yeah, with Grimm and Portlandia, we got kind of a double edge effect. Is Grimm sort of sold the state as a great place to be moody and dark, and, which was wonderful.
It works,
And then
yeah.
Portlandia sold the place as a great place to do a wacky half-hour comedy,
Right.
you know, and that's why we got Shrill and Trinkets and sometimes
That's right.
and Everything Sucks, and those series came
Yeah.
right after Portlandia.
That's fantastic. That's awesome. What about my friend, my dead friend Zoe? That's
So there's two projects that shot here last year before the strike that have done very well on the festival circuit. And My
Okay.
Dead Friend Zoe is actually executive produced by Travis Kelce of Taylor Swift fame. I don't know whether Travis would like us to say that, but
I think he would.
there you go.
Yeah,
As a
he-
football
I think
fan, he's Travis Kelce. And it shot in Malala as well as here in Portland. It stars Ed Harris. Wonderful. Got some
wow.
great reviews out of South by Southwest.
Okay.
All Portland crew, all Oregon crew. And then there was another movie called It's What's Inside, a horror movie that actually debuted at Sundance this year, sold to Netflix for a very large number and should be coming out very soon. It also shot here in the Portland area. So lots of love out of major festivals for
Yeah.
Oregon-made products.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks for bringing the work right here.
I
We
love it.
appreciate
Yeah, yeah.
All right, we'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away.